Hey everyone, it's Jason. Today we are doing the unboxing for the brand newest set Marvel Legendaries, the New Mutants. As we can see, we have Warlock, Wolfsbane, Sunspot, Karma, Mirage, and Magic. Magic was already released in Secret Wars 2, I believe. And the other main notable missing member would be Cannonball, who is in the X-Men set. So that's why we don't have all of them. Just looking at them, like, they should make, like, special team leader cards that you could buy. So, like, when you go to play the game, you can be like, oh, this is my team leader leading these groups of characters I built. And you'd be like, oh, you could have, like, Magneto or Cable. Anywho. So, these guys are all X-Men. If you had bought, the X-Men set, they were special bystanders in there. And this is basically showing them how, better they have gotten. So now we can actually play them. So we have a brand new keyword, which is basically explained on here. So it's kind of a double keyword. It's called Moonlight and Sunlight. Just showing how these particular characters, and hopefully expansion into some other sets, get stronger or weaker in the moonlight or sunlight. Such as Sunspot, being a solar energy character, gets stronger during the day, or Wolfsbane, being a werewolf, gets stronger at night, although that's not technically true in the comic books. As far as I know, maybe she gets stronger, but I mean, she doesn't need to be night for her to transform. So basically, the way this works is moonlight abilities only work when the heroes in the HQ have an odd number of costs, or the most have odd number of costs. And then likewise, the sunlight abilities only when most have evens. So they recommend doing something sort of like this. So pulling down like all your odd amount characters. So it's like here we have an even, and we have 3 odds. Then you can easily just be like, oh, it's moonlight right now. And then if I bought this card and it was another odd, I would keep it down. If I bought it and it was even, I would put it back up. Just so you can quickly look at it. Tell if it's sunlight or moonlight. That's a good way to do it. I'm just right off the bat, without even playing anything, I'm going to say mechanics sounds interesting. With this set, where there's a lot of characters that have sunlight, moonlight, but if you tossed one of these characters randomly into a set of 4 other characters, or whatever, so then you could pull these cards up and down for that one character card that you would occasionally get. That might get a little frustrating, so I think sometimes abilities like this, or like in the X-Men set, that Light Show, where you only gotta use the effect if you played other Light Show cards. If you don't have multiple characters with that ability, they kind of become annoying to use. But I'm only gonna find out by playing it. Remember, okay, so the other new keyword, and basically they just kick off. So if it says like moonlight, you get 2 cards, and then when it says sunlight, you draw a card. You always do top to bottom, so if they have both of them, if the top one's moonlight, if you're currently in the moonlight, more odd characters, then you get to do the moonlight ability, but not the sunlight. If for some reason the moonlight ability would change it, like it says moonlight, like discard a card from the HQ or something, or buy a card or something like that, and it changes it, then it becomes sunlight, and then you get your sunlight ability, or vice versa. If it says moonlight, sunlight, and you don't have moonlight, you just skip right to the sunlight. But if that sunlight would change it to moonlight, you don't go back up the card and do it. So you only activate them in order of the card, and you do as much as you can. The other ability we have is Walking Nightmare. So some cards say you have a Walking Nightmare. This means discard a non-great card non-gray hero from your hand. If you discarded a hero this way, draw a card. So lots of villains have this. They're going to force you to. Some of Mirage's cards do. And that's basically it. There's not a lot of extra special new like effects or anything like that. Just some more characters. I think I read like online when the set was coming out or came out, some people were complaining. It's like, oh, they're not doing anything new. It's just more of the same stuff because they didn't make like a brand new card type or anything like that. So that's fine, you know. Sometimes it's okay to just get more of the same. You don't always need a brand new, innovative, over-the-top, new mechanic every single game. Otherwise, every time you play a new expansion, you're relearning. It's gonna feel like you're basically like you're relearning the game every time you play. And sometimes I just want to be able to grab a new guy, throw him in my deck, and play him. Let's start off with our good old buddy Sunspot. Bobby DaCosta. I was like, Robert DaCosta. Yeah, because Robert's Bobby. Anywho, absorb radiation. So he has Moonlight. You may put a hero from the HQ on the bottom of the hero deck. Sunlight, draw a card. So this is what I was talking about. His Moonlight, if it's currently Moonlight, in his ability, you can put a hero from the HQ on the bottom of the hero deck. So you can get rid of one of them even characters, hope it's an odd character, or you can get rid of an odd character, hope it's an even. If it flips over to even being higher, then you get to draw a card. So it's kind of interesting because if it's already Sunlight, then you're just going to get to draw a card. If it's Moonlight, it's a possibility. So it's not going to always happen. But he's got some range because he's shooting his bats. He has solar power because he gets physically stronger the more energy he gains. So he has Sunlight. You may put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. If you do, gain +2 attack. Interesting. Basically, you can save a card for later. Thermokinetic Fury. To play this, you must put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. Sunlight, gain +1 attack for each other X card you played this turn. Yeah, he likes to put his cards back on the bottom of his deck. At least it's not the discard pile, so at least you're gonna potentially draw them. And if you discard, your deck's almost empty, you're gonna probably get them right away the next turn. So timing on that could definitely be helpful. And then here he says, Imperial Force. Choose any number of heroes in the HQ, put them on the bottom of the hero deck. Sunlight, you get +1 attack for each hero in the HQ with an even numbered cost. So basically you want to try and get rid of all them odd cards, hope they're really good, and then you gain a big old attack. Yes, I'm iffy on this card because it's an 8 cost for 3 attack. Definitely it could get a lot higher. You could have an extra 5, which would make it an 8 cost. But it's kind of a gamble. I don't mind cards that are gamble or change up, but they're not always ideal. Now we have Wolfsbane, so it's supposed to be the opposite, where she has lots of Moonlight. So she has the exact opposite effect of his beginning card, essentially. You may put a hero card from the HQ on the bottom of the hero deck, or you may draw a card. So that mirrors his first card. So his only costs 2, gains you 1 recruit. Hers costs 3, gains you 2 recruit. But otherwise they do the same thing. These cool. I mean, that might be the downside of having all these cards like that, is how often are your Wolfsbane and your Sunspots going to be competing against each other, especially if you draw a bunch of them. Who knows? Night Vision. Moonlight, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, discard any of them and put the rest back in any order. Okay. There's a deck manipulation for some reason. Howl at the Moon. Moonlight, look at the top card of your deck, KO it or put it back. So it's kind of interesting. Sunspot had stuff where he kept putting his cards back in the bottom of her deck, and Wolfsbane keeps looking at the top of her deck. And Nocturnal Saboteur, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, discard any number of them, put the rest back in any order. Moonlight, you get the total printed attack of all cards you discarded from your deck this turn. So you basically use these other cards to manipulate her attacks, and then you draw for 4. So she could definitely get really strong from that. Alright, we have Mirage. Wolfsbane, Rain Sinclair. Crap, I don't remember. Mirage, Danielle Moonstar. Is that right? No, it's not right, because Moonstar's her own character. Or is she, because she has the bow? Oh boy, I forgot my New Mutants lore. Empathic Link. I think this is Danielle Moonstar. When a card effect causes you to discard this card, set it aside. At the end of your turn, add it to your hand as an extra card. Well, that'd work well with Wolfsbane's card, where she keeps making you discard stuff. Dreams Made Real, Moonlight. You may discard a card if you do draw a card. So this would work well with that too. You could discard that other card, draw it, or get a play again, and then you could draw a card. Nightmare Wolves. You may have a Waking Nightmare. So that means discard a non-gray hero and then draw a card. You gain attack equal to the cost of the card you discard this way. So basically, the higher level card you're willing to choose to discard, the more attack you'll get. And Haunted by the Demon Bear, who's a big character in the storylines. Whenever a card effect causes you to discard a card from your hand this turn, gain +2. Moonlight, you may have a Waking Nightmare. And it's Maze, you have the option. So you can play this card, you can choose to discard to gain 2 extra attack. So it's interesting. Sunspot puts cards in the bottom of her deck. Wolfsbane manipulates the top of her deck. And Mirage just worries about discarding cards from your hand. So you have 3 characters that play kind of different. I'm trying to get to the next character. We have our friend Warlock. Who doesn't, I believe, have a regular name, but he is a Phangalix. Earthling's Choices. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, draw one, then discard the other. So far, I think all the characters start out with a draw effect. Analyzing Planetary Rotation. Sunlight, gain +2. Moonlight, gain +2 attack. Instead, you gain both. So I'm not really sure why he gets the plussing. I mean, obviously, just to keep that effect in the set. But it doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense for him. But at least there, he's Planetary Rotation, so he's doing Sun and Moon, I guess. Techno-Organic Adaptation. Play a deck card. The first time you defeat a villain this turn, you may KO one of your cards or a card from your discard pile. And his big one is going to be Nanite Shapeshifter. Sunlight, draw 3 cards. Moonlight, get 3 attack and 3 recruit. Play 4 other X-Men, you gain 4 instead. So the only thing you're going to probably notice if you're familiar with the New Mutants at all is there's no Cypher. So you don't get him in this set at all, which makes sense to some extent because he's not a battle character, so it's hard to really put a battle character unless they added like a divide card, like Warlock or something. But it would have been weird to have like, oh, here's one divided character in this set. I thought it would have been cool if they would have included him as like another special bystander, but I think he's in the X-Men set, so it wouldn't make sense to have 2 of them. Here we have Karma, Zion McCoy. She actually traveled with Wolverine for a while. It's weird just how many younger characters actually hung out with Wolverine. So rivalry. Choose a villain. You get one attack for each villain adjacent to it. She kind of uses her mind powers to control people. Temporary possession. Guess a color, then reveal the top card of the hero deck. Put it back on the top or the bottom of the deck. If you guessed right, gain 2 attack. If you have something that lets her do that, oh, here we go. Karmic Balance, reveal the top card of the hero deck. You may recruit it this turn. If you do, you may KO one of your cards or a card from your discard pile. Oh, from the hero deck. You may recruit it. But you still have to pay for it to recruit it. You don't just get it for free. Okay, and she gets her filters out the other stuff. And then control like a puppet. So she's the only one that doesn't have a sunlight moonlight ability. Interesting. I would have thought it would have been Warlock, but that's alright. Control like a puppet. Play an X-Men character, choose a villain in the city. You get attack equal to its VP, usable only against other villains or masterminds. I'm not really sure what else you'd spend the attack against. Maybe like a Steam Twist character, but I think those guys are generally called villains anyhow. Maybe if it's something that lets you buy stuff. I'm not sure. It probably just makes sense for the overall, every single game in the entire set. You know, just to have something mean different there. Sort out our masterminds here. Alright, so first up we're going to have their arch nemesis. Emma Frost, the White Queen. Well, they were the original New Mutants. They fought against her Hellions. Now this is really odd to me because maybe I haven't, but I know like some of the more recent-ish comics, she went from being an X-Men, she was kind of going back to being a villain again, but I don't think she ever went like full White Queen. The only thing that's odd is because this is with her Hellion, which is supposed to represent back when she was before she joined the X-Men, or even Generation X, but they use her diamond ability, which she didn't have at the time. So they kind of are mixing lores here, which is weird. So during each of your turn, Emma Frost needs +1 for each gray hero you have. So if you have, new recruit type characters, she gains attack. Master Strike. Stack the strike next to Emma Frost, and each player has a waking nightmare for each strike stacked here. Ooh, that could wreck your turn. Her epic version is 9 instead of 8, gain +2 instead of +1. Stack the strike next to Emma Frost. Each player has a waking nightmare for each strike stacked here, then one more waking nightmare. Alright, okay. And you're already getting hit by it. What's one more for good thing? So she has assume diamond form. Fight Emma Frost cannot be fought again until you start your next turn. Alright, that's cool. I don't know if we've seen that effect before, really, in those exact words. Contempt for weaklings. Put a 0-cost hero from the KO pile on top of each other player's deck. Psychic X-Men Link. Each other player has a waking nightmare. Each of those players who did not discard an X-Men hero this way gains a wound. And Tempting Bargain. You may play the top card of the villain deck. If you do, gain 5 recruit. Okay, that's interesting. And then we get a look at her Hellions, which are like the bad guy versions of the New Mutants, essentially. We have Cat's Eye to combat Wolfsbane. But she can become various cats. Moonlight, Cat's Eye gets +2. If you fight her, KO one of your heroes. We have Thunderbird. This is James Proudstar, not John Proudstar. So he's the one that eventually joins the New Mutants, which become X-Force. And then later he joins the X-Men. So I think people are hoping to be able to recruit him, but oh well. Sunlight gets +2. Fight, KO one of your heroes. So basically the opposite of Cat's Eye. We have Roulette. Ambush. Reveal the top card of the hero deck if it's attack. Each player gains a wound. If it's covert, you draw a card. Fight, same effect. Escape, same effect. Her supernatural black tokens curse, while her red tokens bless. So if you're playing a black card, which are the tech cards, or a red card, you gain an effect. So that's interesting. That's a neat little gambling effect. Tarek. Reveal the top card of the villain deck. If it's a bystander, rescue it. Steam Twist, play it. Master Strike, each player gains a wound. Villain, each player has a waking nightmare. She plays her card and summons basically things to fight from them. We have Jetstream. After this enters the sewer, put Jetstream on the bridge. If there's another villain there, swap them. He just zips over there super fast. Each player discards an X-Men hero or gains a wound. And finally, Empath, who I think was the only member of the Hellions that survived after a bunch of Sentinels came and slaughtered everyone. During your turn, Empath gets +1 for each gray hero you have. Each player reveals a covert hero or has a waking nightmare. Okay. Okie dokie. Alright, so then our second and final mastermind is Blasco, the Demon Lord of Limbo. It's kind of funny that we're going to Limbo in a set that doesn't have magic. But that's alright. Now we can add magic in here to fight against him. The Demon Lord Blasco gets attack equal to the number of non-gray heroes in the KO pile divided by the number of players. He leads the demons of Limbo. Master Strike. If it's a Sunlight, each player KOs a non-gray hero from the discard pile. If it's Moonlight, each player has a Walking Nightmare and KO cards discarded this way. Ooh, so to KO him instead. His epic version, he gains an extra attack point. Equal to the number of non-gray heroes divided by that stayed the same. Each player kills 2 non-gray heroes or has 2 waking nightmares. So basically he just doubles all his effects. Alright, what do we have now? We have his tactics, a Demon's Mercy. Each other player KOs a non-gray hero from their hand or discard pile. I always hate these effects because they're like, hey guys, I beat him. Yeah, we're doing better as a team. And then it's, oh, I'm sorry, all you guys are getting screwed over. Bargain for Souls. Reveal the card from a hero's deck equal to the number of players. Gain one of them, KO the rest. Ooh. Gain a free card, but you have to KO a bunch. Cleaving Demon Blade. Each player chooses different cards in HQ, then KO all chosen cards. He does not want cards around. He's just KOing stuff left and right. Rescue from Limbo. You may KO one of your non-gray heroes or a non-gray hero from the discard pile. If you do, gain a hero from the KO pile. Well, at least that's sort of beneficial. Yeah, he's KOing everything. Who are our Limbo demons? We have Crotius. Ambush. Crotius captures a bystander, put an even number hero on the bottom of the deck, so potentially it become Moonlight, and then you gain Spore attack. 2 of him. We have Witchfire. Witchfire captures a hero from the HQ with the lowest odd number cost. If it's Sunlight, she gains +2, so she's trying to get that odd character out of there. Fight player choice gains that hero. Oh, neat. You can give it to somebody else if you choose. Or KO the captured hero. Nasrith. Sunlight. To fight Nasrith, you must also spend 3 recruit. During the Moonlight, he has 3 attack. Fight, KO one of your heroes. And we have the Demon Bear. Ambush. Each player has a waking nightmare. The Demon Bear captures one of the heroes discarded this way, has the lowest cost, and gains attack equal to that hero's cost. The player choice gains that hero, KO the captured hero. And Sim Ambush, if it's a sunlight, each player repels a strength roll or gains a wound. If it's moonlight, each player has a waking nightmare. Oh, same effect if he escapes. Alright. And then finally we have our schemes. Let's crash the moon into the sun. Let's not. Twist 1, 3, 5, 7, the odd ones, are moonlight. Stack this twist next to the scheme as an altered orbit. Okay, so you do the twist, but if it's moonlight, you just stack it. If it's the even twist, if it's sunlight, you gotta do the same. So that's kind of random because you have no idea. 9, 10, 11, it's the same effect. I think it does it regardless if it's sunlight or moonlight by the end. When there are 4 altered orbits. Yeah, this could be a very random one because depending on when you get that twist is what's gonna happen. You have no control over that, really. I mean, outside of maybe looking at the top of the deck somehow. Trapped in the Insane Asylum. +2 twists per player. You face the sanity test. Either keep this twist in front of you as a psychotic break or discard a card and pass the twist to the player on your left. That player faces a sanity test. On each of your turns, before you play other cards on your turn, you must play 2 randomly selected cards from your hand for each psychotic you have. When a player has 3 psychotic breaks. Oh. So, interesting. So basically, when you play it, when you play a twist, you can put it in front of you as a psychotic break, or you can discard to pass it to another player. And then okay. So then basically that's saying, but then you gotta decide, like, oh, do I have 2 twists? Do I have 3 twists in front of me? If you have 1 or 2, you have to decide if you want to pass it to someone else, and eventually you have to kind of keep moving that so that nobody keeps gaining too many. And then on each of your turns, before you play other cards, you must play 2 randomly selected cards from your hand for each break you have. So if you have 1, you have to play 2 of your potentially 6 cards. You might be like, well, who cares? I have to play them anyhow. Because it can destroy those combos you're setting up. Like, you might not get your class combo because the wrong card might be played, or if you have something that lets you change the table, so you have your odd and even for your moonlight or sunlight, that could definitely change that. That could be interesting to play in this deck. I'd like to sell and play some other decks where you're not as reliant upon that. The Demon Bear Saga, because we need to beat this Demon Bear. Includes Demon and Limbo as that group. Put the Demon Bear villain from that group next to the scheme. Twist: if the Demon Bear is in a city, it escapes. Otherwise, Demon Bear enters the city from wherever it was. If it was in a player's victory pile, that player rescues 4 bystanders. Okay, so whenever Demon Bear escapes, stack a twist next to the scheme as Dream Horror. When there are 3 Dream Horrors. So he starts outside the city. When you play a twist, he'll enter, or he'll escape, depending on where he's at. But he could just escape normally as well. So that could be a fun one to play against. And then we have this fun, interesting card, Superhuman Baseball Game. Add an extra villain group. The bank and the streets do not exist. Put the villain deck under the HQ as home plate. The sewers, rooftop, and bridge are first, second, and third. Play the top card of the villain deck. If it's a bystander, rescue it as a cheering bang. If it's a master strike, after it resolves, any villain on third base steals home and escapes. If it's a villain, hit a double. Pushes to second base, the rooftops, and you play the top card of the villain deck. When each villain or the evil has 4 runs per player. So that's cool. makes it a fun little different game of trying to play it. So instead of just maybe, oh, I'm gonna beat the villain, you can, you gotta play a baseball game against them. So now we can have the New Mutants playing baseball against Dr. Doom. That's kind of just, it's just funny and ridiculous, but it's neat to make something. Alright, so that was Legendary New Mutants. Check you guys later. Bye.